as far as TwitchCon goes, I have a take.
Yeah.
Let's
get into
I
it.
think a lot of people obviously by now have litigated and relitigated the assault that Emeru withstood.
Mm-hmm.
And much has been said about the lackluster security, which I agree with.
I also agree with. I
someone-
can go into that if you want.
As someone who has, headlined these events, and as someone who actually very publicly said he wasn't going in an effort to make sure that there wasn't like any psychos that would put myself or others in harm's way. And I've gotten the best security at TwitchCons in spite of all of that. I think there is something a little bit different that is left unaddressed in the discourse, and I think that's just like the culture surrounding streaming has changed.
Mm.
And I do feel like clip culture and the constant like forced interactions that people are creating, first with their friends, but with like but the culture that is like that it has created has made it like normal to kind of behave weirdly around other people in an effort to get like viral TikToks out of it. And I think that has made everything a little bit more, at least from afar, when I was watching from afar, it made things feel less sincere and less communal, as opposed to previous TwitchCons that I had attended where there was a sense of community there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think there's two issues at play. I think the first issue at play is like Twitch streamers and streamers have a new level of celebrity that is compounding every year. And Twitch needs to adapt to the fact that like I won't include myself in that category. There is a category, an ilk of streamer that is like a mainline celebrity now, and you have to protect them like a mainline celebrity.
Yeah.
The second is talk to any woman on the internet, and the amount of harassment and stalking and obsession that they face is so beyond what you would glean from any kind of outward examination of it, that like we need to adapt. I mean, not just our security, but like our lawmaking, our policing,
and even our culture as well.
Yes.
Well, like
because like female streamers are not just being like, assaulted like Emmy, but like you look overseas and women are being killed, and like it's happened in our country. And I don't know how much violence and stalking and threatening and assault needs to happen before we take notice of the fact that the internet is a breeding ground for really predatory behavior against women.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And I always stress that like what you see is not even the tip of the iceberg. Like it's just such a tiny fraction. What you end up seeing is nothing in comparison to the unimaginable amount of cyber stalking, cyber harassment that leads to real life stalking and real life harassment. And this doesn't just pertain to the likes of Emeru, who is the largest female content creator on the platform, but like if you're a woman and you got 10 fans, you got one stalker. Yeah. Like it's crazy. Yeah. And we're saying this from like all of our conversations with our female colleagues in general. So like I think there is a culture that certainly feeds into that as well, and there's this,
I think also
there's this attitude of entitlement.
Emiru's frustration with TwitchCon is kind of like a microcosm of all of these women's frustration with the total lack of empathy or action to help them. I'm not going to name the creator, but there was one creator I knew on Twitch, and she was going through the level of stalking that she was enduring, and it was like nothing I had ever seen in my life, like just pages and pages and pages of manifestos and death threats. And I like, this was years ago, and I kind of posed to her, like, what is law enforcement doing about this situation? And she's like, well, they keep telling me there's nothing really they can do until there's like a credible this or something that. And there needs to be some kind of like waking up to the fact that like we need a new way to categorize, enforce, and protect.
Oh, yeah.
Perhaps a new agency to prosecute.
Even beyond, I think what we're realizing is that the rate at which technology is augmenting not just like, the internet itself and the ways that we consume media, but also in turn the kind of perspectives that it manufactures for us, right? The speed with which that occurs is significantly and exponentially with each passing year greater than the speed of lawmaking.
Yeah.
It is just so profoundly sluggish. So
I mean, even with AI, like AI, every time there's a new release of like Sora or whatever, there is a new tool that some sickos can utilize. And I saw it. Like I saw it with last night's or tonight's debate earlier before I shot this podcast. I was watching the New York Mayoral debate in which like Andrew Cuomo's team released the AI slop video where they showed like a black dude wearing a keffiyeh that kind of looked like Idris Elba stealing and shoplifting and being like, I'm a criminal and I love Zohran Mamdani. And then they subsequently deleted it, but like
That's crazy.
But like that kind of stuff is so unacceptable, and the fact that like our lawmakers are leaning into that, in races that they want to win, seemingly, and the culture surrounding it is like not even remotely interested in punishing it or saying, "What are you fucking doing? Like this is crazy." That I fear is becoming increasingly normalized.
By the way, before we move off it, you know the "we made the right person famous" meme? For a person I already have a tremendous amount of respect for in Emmy, the fact that she came out, finished the meet and greet, I believe, and then also did her show the next day is like crazy.
Blisteringly composed.
Dude, that is digging deep. Like I'm the king of digging deep, and I looked at that and I was like, yo, that's wild. And that is, I don't know, that's a level of professionalism and composure that is just like
and it was very clear too. It's like, because she was like, I don't want to do it, but like all these other people that I care about have spent a lot of time and effort to come to this thing, and they're expecting to be on stage tonight. So I'm just gonna do it. It's mad props to Emaru for sure.
To find in an otherwise bleak and dismal sea of self-interest someone considering the effort and experiences of others is something to like really spotlight and cherish in my eyes. So I think like one great additional point, 100%. It's not just like grit; it's like legitimate conscientiousness, which is woefully, decaying. But it really does bring a lot of interesting questions up, man. Like when you talk about how the concept of like content creation is shifting towards being like flagrantly problematic or antagonistic to the ends of producing clippable content. It's like we now also have to consider that the legitimacy with which these clips are even posted or presented is something that we have no control over, and that's even in the absence of AI augmentation. So not to get like too dense, I don't really know the tone of the show. All the clips I see are just Austin talking about like twinks, and like that's really it.
Okay, hold on. Can I address this?
I only see
I have literally had hold on. I have literally had 3, maybe 2 to 3, maybe 4 or 5 total twink clips in the history of this podcast.